Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
Welcome to the United States of Paranormal Podcast. Sit down and buckle up for an enlightening ride through everything cryptid, creepy, and paranormal.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden Jay, hanging out with
the Rocker Chic
and
J-Dub,
and we are the United States of Paranormal. What's going on, guys?
Ooh.
Well,
Excuse me.
Wow.
well,
me.
Now there's how you start a pod right there.
That was my burp from my water.
We, last week, had an amazing interview with Nathan Hopwood from We Are Paranormal.
That was good.
That was so much fun. He's such a cool guy. He would fit in with this podcast really, really well.
Yeah.
yeah, you would.
Yep.
So if you haven't already checked him out, go check him out on Facebook. So what was it?
WAP. We Are Paranormal.
That's right. There you go. Facebook.com/WAP We Are Paranormal. One word. WAP.
WAP.
Yep.
And he's on YouTube and other platforms.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you haven't checked him out, go like, subscribe, go
Do
follow
all
him.
the jazz.
Do all that good stuff on all of your favorite social media. He gave you a rundown of everything they've got going on. So, yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. So, what else is happening?
That was a busy weekend. We redid the bathroom.
Oh,
And yeah, it was tiring and a long.
She had to wait 8 hours to pee.
That's right.
Oh, she told you the 8 hour
Yeah.
piece on. J-Dub, part of that whole scenario was that there was water in my crawl space. The sump pump stopped working. So here I am, duck walking across my crawl space so my ass doesn't get all wet. And I look back, and she has now brought down the step stool to get in and out of the crawl space, and she's sitting on it, and all I hear is, I could just pee right here.
I didn't, though.
I would have just gone in the backyard.
It was light out.
Who cares? If you gotta go bad enough.
You could have found a spot, believe me.
You could have
It's all
peed in a
good.
cup or a bucket.
No,
I
just
offered
waited.
to get her the bucket.
What?
It was like a test to see how long I could hold it.
It's true.
And it, yeah.
And that's that point in your life
I
where
completed the test.
You even could have worn a diaper.
No.
I
Talked
didn't
about that before.
fucking think about
Not
having the
happening.
diapers. You could have just went in the diaper.
No.
Anyway, that's that point in your life where you're like, you don't want to eat anything that might upset your stomach, where you got to take a dump because there's no place to go. I mean, I have to call my buddy Scotty T, be like, dude, totally need to come take a shit. He'd be like, what? He'd let me though.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't.
Oh,
He'd be
yeah.
like, get
Yeah,
over here
yeah.
and shit. You're good. So yeah, we managed to redo our bathroom flooring, new toilet. Looks nice. You did a great job. I held the fucking tape measure, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
As
we
usual.
did it together, and it was a pain in the ass. But it's done.
I don't wish that on anybody. And it's so daunting.
Yeah.
while you're holding you're like, I gotta get this toilet in because I gotta pee so bad.
You got the shakes.
Please don't leak. Please don't leak either me or the toilet.
That's funny.
Camping season is now in full swing. How you loving your new lot?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's still quiet because it hasn't officially
Enjoy it. Enjoy the quiet.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get crazy.
You'll have some weekends that are quiet, and you'll have some weekends that are just fucking insane. So,
well, the guy that we're renting from said that we're pretty far back, that it's not horrible, if we were closer to the front.
right.
So.
Yeah, it's just a lot of traffic. You'll have tons and tons of traffic going through there, and kids blaring music and running really.
Lots of dust.
Yeah.
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 We're used to lots of dust.
Lots of dust and hay. You don't have any hay in your hair tonight, do you?
Yeah, I
You
do.
get it all out.
No, I haven't. Just don't look.
Oh, listen, we have some things to talk about.
Oh.
Listen, I just want to talk about some of these emails we've gotten.
Yay!
And to start off, I'm going to say I'm not going to get too in depth in these because there's a lot of stuff going on, and we're going to do a full episode here in a couple more weeks where we go in depth into everything that everybody has sent us.
Yes.
I'm super excited to finally show off a couple of the voice audio clips that people sent us, telling us about their stories. Plus, Zach, who was the guy that told me about Southern Grace Distillery, he sent me the EVPs and videos and all that stuff. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to do a full episode where we just talk about all the stuff that you great listeners have sent us.
Nice.
And I'm super excited to really get into that. So, Zach, this is the plan, man. Give me a couple weeks, and we're going to do all that great stuff because I've already went through it, and there's some really good stuff on there. So I'm super excited for you guys to see it and hear it. Of course, we do have clips that people have sent us over the past 6 months since we've been asking for them that we haven't gotten to because we haven't had enough. I think this is going to put us over the top with being able to do a full episode of that. So I'm excited.
That sounds good.
Do we have any new Patreon members?
Yes, we have one new Patreon that we're going to shout out, and it's our buddy Peter joined. Peter. Peter's a longtime friend of the show. If you haven't seen any of his episodes, shame on you. Go back and watch them. They're great.
Yes.
So, I need to get with Peter and see about what our next one with him is because I love having him on.
Oh, yeah.
He's amazing.
What are the tiers on Patreon again?
Well, you have
What do you
the
get?
$3 tier, which will get you a shout out on the show and a autographed United States Paranormal poster.
Nice.
The second tier, you get the shout out and you get the poster, and you have access to all of our shows full video. Some of them they are edited. I mean, there's some things that go on behind the scenes that you don't want to see Golden Jay blowing his nose or coughing up a lung or anything like that. So they are edited, but you pretty much get the full blend of everything that goes on. Sometimes if I have a lot of time, you'll get nice jump cuts between each camera. Most of the time, you'll just get just the 3 panels with all of us on it. So you get to see everything that, you get to see Golden Jay scratch his nuts if the Rocker Chick's doing a story. So, you'll get to see all that stuff. That's tier number 2. So tier number 1's a $3 tier. Tier number 2 is $6 a month. Tier 3 is $12 a month, and that means you get all that other stuff aforementioned, poster, videos, shout out on the show. But on the $12 tier, you get all of the extras that we're doing, not weekly related. You get reaction videos. We got trivia coming. We're in the midst of doing drunk dad jokes. Once we got the cameras out and the campground ready, that's where we're going to do it at, because J-Dub will not have to drive very far to get back to her lot. Yes. So you can see J-Dub completely intoxicated.
Oh my God.
Trying to tell everybody a joke.
That'll be me.
And of course, we're always talking about doing other things. J-Dub would love to do a behind the scenes of our life video to throw on there. So we're going to work on that, so you can see what we do, not only at work, but also when we get home from work in our daily, kind of our daily routine.
Yeah, I thought about that after she said it, and it's like, you know what, I'll do a couple things at work and then come home and we've talked about the deck before, so I can show the deck and then you can show where I put my squatch at. And,
oh yeah. Yeah. And you can also show them where I put my tree house at.
Yeah, I'll show them that tree, so you can all be like, "Oh, Jeremy would break that tree."
Lard ass.
What?
The tree's not big enough to hold you.
It'll hold me.
Whatever. Okay.
If you build it, it will hold me.
If I build
hammock?
it.
I do what?
Like the hammock?
Well, that's a whole other thing.
We'll hold both of us.
One time.
One time. It
We
only
made a
took one
mistake
time.
of both getting on the hammock, and maybe,
Both of
we
us
weren't
breaking
doing
our ass.
We weren't doing anything inappropriate in the middle of the yard. I promise. That's not why it broke.
Okay.
Promise. We didn't do anything inappropriate on the brand new flooring in the bathroom either. So.
Nope, because I had to pee. Sorry, you can go back to your emails now.
So yeah, that's the Patreons. We're having fun doing the extras, and they're turning out really good. I'm really proud of them, and I know that it's $12 a month, but it's a lot of work goes into it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So we appreciate all our Patreons. But Peter, thank you so much for getting on there, and we very much appreciate you.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. So I just real quick, Zach's email, there's quite a bit to it. We talked about a lot of different shit going on. He was super excited when he turned on the new episode and it was about Southern Grace. He's like, holy shit, I was not expecting that. But yeah, it was funny because I thought about holding back on a couple weeks on doing it because he was going to send the stuff, and I was like, no, let's just go for it, and then we'll plug it in later. But his email starts with, "It is I, ZT from SC, hanging out with myself yet again." And isn't that sad? Let me ask you this: who forgot to send the evidence that they said they would? And he said this guy. But yeah, so yeah, we talked about the evidence he sent and so on and so forth. My favorite part of this email, you all are such a joy to listen to and make the commute to work enjoyable. I'm just sad that now I have wait another week for the next episode. Logan, I really looking forward to hearing your answers when it's your turn in the hot seat. I definitely learned a lot about you all, and I feel like I've learned more and more when you guys have your banter. I love it. Don't change the format of the podcast, and I have to throw this in. This is probably going to piss off J-Dub.
Hey.
But OMG, I laughed when the name she doesn't like to be called came up, and then hearing Golden J hit it with the Forrest Gump impression. All I could hear in the voice of Forrest Gump is, "It's Jenny Dub." That should be your next shirt for her on a park bench beside Golden J as Forrest Gump, with him saying Jenny Dub.
That's cool. I like that.
Anyways, there you go. That pretty much sums up You're all awesome. I love the podcast, and the way y'all interact with your listeners is great. Keep it up. I'm going to find a stalk Golden J Social now. So I hope you found it. I'm not really hard to find.
No.
So there you go.
Cool.
So Zach, thank you for the email.
Thanks.
Yes.
I will email you back probably before this episode comes out, but just thought I'd let you know. So there you go.
There you
Sweet.
go. Oh, cool.
I did hear back from Kane. Now, Kane is actually going to be on our next episode. He's going to set in while J-Dub does her story. So we're looking forward to that in the next episode. So just a shout out to Kane. He was the one that emailed us early on where we talked a lot about the mental health and stuff like that. Things are definitely going better for him. Things are
good.
looking up, not only in, personal life, but financial life is starting to head that way.
Good.
So I'm really happy for him that, things are starting to square off, and I'm very proud of him for sticking with it and keeping his head up and really, not letting it get him too down. So,
Yeah.
Good.
but we will be with him. He will be on the show next week. We hang out, and then in a couple of weeks we're gonna have ISO Cam on, doing a story. He's super excited. He's putting a story together, so we're working on that. But Kane also says, by the way, P.S. I'm kind of wanting to build a treehouse now. So yeah, that's what we got coming up. I got some other plans in the works. But over the next few weeks, that's what you're going to get. You got Kane. You got our special stories and evidence episode. And then you're going to have some ISOCAM. And then we're going to get back to the Battle of the States.
Ooh.
So I am going to get a wheel like the call guys got with all the states on it. And we're going to spin it in an episode coming up. And we're going to do what we did with Arkansas. Arkansas. And we are going to go to battle. But we are bringing a special guest in for that.
Ooh.
JW, you know who it is?
Tell me.
Your friend and mine, the Straw Man.
Yay! Woo!
He's down. I just got to get him a solid date, and we will get to that here in a few weeks and get it set up and get Mason on the show.
Nice.
Very cool.
He's got to bring his own haunted story. So now you guys are gonna have 4 to choose from. So
Sweet.
I'm loving this. We may extend this out to maybe 5 or 6. Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Everybody get a 15-minute story. Let's go.
Of course, I hope you guys are all loving the other side and the other side interviews. J-Dubs was pretty amazing. If you hadn't heard it, go check it out. Logan's is coming up or has just happened. I'm not quite sure where this one falls yet, but Frankie Vegas is coming in to interview just Logan, putting him on the hot seat. I'm not sure that Frankie Vegas can shake him.
Probably not. I don't think anything could shake Logan.
Nah, it'd be pretty tight, wouldn't it? Yeah. Maybe. Frankie might have something up his sleeve. Frankie Vegas has also shown interest in coming in and doing a story. He's working on something like Haunted Vegas or something like that.
Oh,
So
cool.
We got shit going on, man. I'm loving it. Listeners, you guys are great. Send the emails. I love the emails. All of them. Keep them coming. And of course, I want to thank Mason for his purchase on the merch store.
Yeah.
I hope you're rocking that Celestial Stag.
Celestial Stag.
Or
Yeah.
the parafeet.
Or the pair. He did buy the parafeet. Yes. So if you get a chance, Mason, let's see some pictures online. I know he rocked out his beaver not too long ago.
We saw his beef.
Yeah. I love that shit. So yeah, check it out. UnitedStatesParanormal.com. Go check out the merch store where you can get a parafeet or a celestial stag or a great white bald beaver or many others of the original artwork.
They're all pretty amazing.
They are pretty good, ain't they? Esteban is such an amazing artist.
Mm-hmm.
Love working with him. He's so easygoing, and yeah, can't say enough about that guy. Go check him out on his Instagram. It's in the show notes. Go check out his Instagram. Give him a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right. What do you got for me, J-Dub?
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
What is the funniest memory that you have from your childhood?
The funniest memory from your childhood. Well, the funniest memory that I have is one that has haunted me for my entire life because nobody wants to stop bringing it up.
Let's hear it.
So when I was young, my grandparents and my parents lived right side by side. My mom still owns the house that I grew up in, and my uncle now lives in the house that my grandparents lived in. And one summer, they had some septic problems. So my grandfather, being the non-tape measure holding guy that he was, I mean, he could do anything. He got fixed cars, built buildings. It didn't fucking matter. He was so good at all kinds of shit. Decided to dig up his septic tank and replace it with a new one.
Oh, boy.
Because he is that inventive. And I was very young. I don't know, maybe 7, 8. Maybe not quite that old. I don't know. But my grandma had some of those old metal chairs. And I was rocking on this chair. And all I heard was, hey, don't fall in there. And I apparently turned something, lost balance in the chair, and fell right in the septic tank.
Ew. Oh, my God.
Is that a funny enough story for you?
That's gross.
I didn't think it was that gross at the time. Looking back, it's like, yeah, you did what you did. But they wouldn't let me go in the house and clean up. I had to get sprayed off outside with the old garden hose.
Oh, burr.
Yes. Rocker Chic.
No, J-Dub, you go.
This won't come as a surprise to anybody, knowing me. So my mom enrolled me in brownies, like the Girl Scouts.
Absolutely.
I think brownies is like 2nd or 3rd grade.
Okay.
They held it at the elementary school that I attended. My mom she would drop me off and I'd do my thing and she'd come and pick me up. So where they had it was in the library. And you would walk down this big, long corridor to the library. Uh-huh. My mom said that she started walking down the corridor and she said it smelled like shit. She gets to the library. The leader of our brownie troop goes, I think Jennifer had an accident. There was a one-stall, bathroom where you go in and lock the door because you were just there. Okay. And somebody was in there and they were in there a little bit too long and I had to take a dump and I just went in my pants because I couldn't hold it any longer. My mom said it smelled like absolute dog shit in that library.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So yeah.
Well, you realize that 2 of the stories now had to deal with shit.
Yeah, what the hell? Oh my god, I can't even think of one. I'm trying to think of something that was funny in my childhood. That's freaking sad.
That is sad.
Right there. Very sad. Oh my god.
The childhood, does that to go into your teenage years?
Sure.
Can you think of something funny in my teenage years?
Oh my
God.
I can think of the night that we were at the VFW in Rochester with your sister, and she puked all the way home. Had to stop the car every 3 miles.
Yeah,
so
that
she
was
could puke.
bad.
I remember the night that I had to hold your hair back because you were puking all over the place. I can think of 2 incidences right there. Those were funny. Not really at the time, but now looking back, they're kind of funny. You got nothing?
I seriously have nothing besides I think my dad telling the same stupid stories over and over again. It was just very laughable.
I hate when people tell the same stories over and over
That's
again.
you.
Is that why you married me? Because I remind you of your dad?
Oh God, no.
Oh, call me daddy.
Yeah, but his story was that him and a bunch of his buddies were out hunting, fishing, doing whatever. I think it changed every time he told the story. But they were driving home and they saw lights behind them, and then there was no lights behind them. It was on top of them, and yeah, the story changed every time he drank. You know, it got different.
It got different.
But yeah, there was always a UFO story coming. So
Yep, I've heard that story.
That was one of my yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was older me, and you heard the same story.
I heard the same story.
Drunk dad, woo, telling his story.
Gotta love it.
Yep. Oh yeah. So
Your dad spent a lot of his time intoxicated.
he did.
I've drank beer with many times with that man. That's all I was saying. In my adult years, after the age of 21, when it was legal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Oh, all right. Are you ready to get into today's story?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right, Rocker Chic.
All right. You ready?
I am.
All right. So we are going to New York's House of Death. It was built in 1856. The Greek Revival brownstone sits at 14 West 10th Street at Greenwich Village. The building itself is beautiful, iconic reddish-brown bricks, incredibly maintained windows, and greenery behind a small iron fence out front. It's a type of residence you always see on TV or in the movies set in New York. James Borman Johnston was a well-known man in New York. He founded the Metropolitan Underground Railway, which is an ancestor of the modern-day subway system.
Oh, wow.
After Johnston died, his widow and their children moved into the House of Death, and to nobody's knowledge, they did not experience any ill fate or haunting phenomenon during their stay. The string of unfortunate events that took place within its walls began with Fred Andrew. And I'm not really sure how it's just an unfortunate event, I guess.
Okay.
Who was a well-known cyclist in the late 1800s. The event took place on August 9th, 1897. Andrew was out cycling and struck a young boy. The boy broke his leg in the collision, and Andrew was subsequently arrested for reckless behavior.
On a bicycle?
On a bicycle.
Okay.
This event was recorded in a contemporary issue of the New York Times. This accident is often noted as the starting point for the house's negativity affecting the residents.
Ooh.
Despite its picturesque exterior, the building at 14 West 10th Street has a not so cute history. Since being constructed in the 1850s near the start of the Civil War, 22 people have died in the home. Referred to as the House of Death, and as the New York Post reported, some of their spirits allegedly had never left. Residents have reported sightings of the spirit of Samuel Clemens, a.k.a. Mark Twain,
Right.
who lived at the building between 1900 and 1901, and other bone-chilling ghosts who have haunted the Greenwich Village block for over a century. Located near Washington Square Park, number 14 was home to many New York City bigwigs, including the wife of James Borman Johnson, who founded the railway, Twain, who only lived in the home for 1 year and died in Connecticut, is said to still haunt the home. Sightings of the author in a white suit have been reported on the first floor near the staircase. In the 1930s, a mother and daughter said they saw a ghost resembling Twain sitting near a window. Allegedly, the spirit said, "My name is Clemens, and I have a problem. Here I gotta settle."
And settle he did.
But he never, got into it?
They said he just
How are
disappeared.
you supposed to fix this if you don't tell me how to fix it?
I got a problem. A few years after the sighting, the single-family home was converted into a 10-unit apartment building. The hauntings did not stop.
That's sad.
In 1957, Jan Bryant Bartell moved into the top floor apartment at 14 West 10th Street. Her life soon became a living nightmare. From the first day, Jan felt an ominous presence in the apartment. Initially, her encounters were minor: the sound of footsteps following behind her, the sensation of someone brushing against her, and a disturbing rotten odor emanating from the floorboards.
Not it.
That's what Bobby says about me. You quit following me, quit brushing up against me, and you stink.
The claims of activity have been going on since the early 1900s, when Bartell first moved in. According to her manuscript, the activity started out very small. It started with some footsteps she felt was following her, strange smells, and cold chills. As time went on, the activity became more noticeable. Bartell started to see shadow figures in the house, furniture being moved on its own, and the sound of crashing glass sometimes followed her around the home.
Oh, wow.
She claimed she had seen the figure of a large, hulking man, a shadow following her around the apartment. Once she reached out to touch it and asked herself, what was it I touched? She wrote, a substance without substance, chilly, damp, such as a marsh mist or a cloud of ether. I could feel my fingers freeze at the tips. They were numb. And yet they tingled. In the split second between contact and recoil, the scent came, fragile and unbearably sweet. Bartell wrote about feeling a brush against the back of her neck and smelling a rotten odor throughout her apartment.
Ew.
She would find rotting food that did not belong to her. Their dog would act aggressively towards a single chair in the home, which Bartell suspected was because the spirit favored sitting in it. Bartell also claimed to have seen the full-bodied apparition, which she touched. She explained the sensation as being damp and cold, like moving through fog or a cloud. The couple enlisted the help of a medium. During a seance in the apartment, Jan was possessed by the ghost of a 19-year-old named Renee Mallison, who said she held President Lincoln responsible for the death of her husband in the Civil War. When the medium demanded that she leave the house, she reportedly screamed, "Never! I will never leave here. This is my home." The medium felt something dead under the floorboards, possibly a young girl, an aborted child, and a small gray cat.
Gotta throw the cat in there.
After unsuccessfully cleansing the home of any nasty spirits, the couple left the home. Finally, after 12 years of terror, Jan and her husband fled 14 West 10th Street, but the horror didn't stop.
They stayed there for 12 years?
Yes.
Wow, that's,
Dedication.
yeah.
By far the most reported phenomenon in the so-called House of Death is a woman in white. The spirit's description varies slightly between accounts. Some people say she wears a nightgown, and some say it's an actual dress. Bartell's visiting medium even mentions sensing a woman in white. The spirit wanders through the halls, walking through doors. Lights often flicker with no concrete source of the disturbance. With such attribute to the woman in white, there are seemingly no specific identities tied to the woman, though this is not surprising, as many of the alleged spirits are unidentified. Jan claimed the house had poisoned her and that the evil spirit had attached itself to her, following her wherever she went. In 1973, Jan died under mysterious circumstances, possibly a suicide, leaving her manuscript unfinished. Friends pulled the pages together and had it published the following year under the title Spindrift, Spray from a Psychic Sea. So you can get that book and it'll tell you all about her.
On Amazon.
Yeah, sure. Though Jan had died, the terror wasn't over. the historic building was still home to 10 tenants and their families. 15 years after Jan's passing, the house was the scene of a horrible crime. The last notable resident of 14 West 10th Street was named Joel Steinberg. Steinberg lived in the home in the 80s with his wife, Hedda Nussbaum, daughter, Lisa Nussbaum, and son, Mitchell Steinberg. Hedda called 911 on November 2nd, 1987, after finding Lisa unbreathing in the kitchen. When the authorities arrived, Lisa was found nude on the kitchen floor. Mitchell was restrained in the playpen in a soiled diaper. Hedda was covered in bruises as well. An insane amount of drugs were also found, including pot, cocaine, and crack pipes. Lisa was taken to a nearby hospital, but would never regain consciousness. She was taken off of life support after 3 days. Her cause of death was ruled to be blunt force trauma to the head. The investigation uncovered a tale of horrific abuse. Joel would abuse his wife, daughter, and son often, and Lisa's murder came after a cocaine binge. The investigation also uncovered that Lisa was illegally adopted by Hedda and Joel, and her biological mother paid Joel to find Lisa an adoptive family. Mitchell was also illegally adopted. Hedda agreed to testify against Joel in exchange for charges against her being dropped. Joel was convicted of second-degree manslaughter, though he is now out of jail.
No.
And I did go through and kind of check on him, and he doesn't show a lot of remorse in some of the interviews he did.
Oh, really?
Yes. Today, 14 West 10th Street is known by a far darker name, the House of Death. A photographer named Dennis, who has lived in the building across the street for over 20 years, is convinced that the evil force lurks within the walls of the historic home. In fact, Dennis believes that this dark presence has stretched across the street from 14th West 10th and entered his apartment. Models who have come for photo shoots have been so terrified by the sight of the woman in a long flowing gown that they've fled never to return. After Jan Bartlett's death, Dennis was browsing the shelves at the Strand bookstore when inexplicably Jan's book fell off the shelf and into the hands of his date. Since then, he's owned several copies of Spindrift, but they just keep disappearing from his apartment. Maybe he's just absent-minded, or maybe it's something to do with a hulking shadow across the street at the House of Death.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if I was him, I'd be pissed. If his book keeps coming up missing, paperback is almost $50.
Holy crap.
What?
I'm looking at Amazon right now. It's like you can get a hardback for $80, paperback for $48, or a mass market paperback for $65.
Wow.
That's crazy.
This must be a really good book. That's why they fucking keeps losing them, because people keep stealing them from them.
Yeah. That was good.
That's my story. That's it. Sorry, did I go through too quickly?
Yeah, that was a quick story, but I mean it was full of a lot of things going on.
There was a lot to it. I started looking into it. I was like, I think there's enough there to do a story on it. So
I think I had actually looked at this a couple years ago. This was one of those places that came up on a list, and I looked into it, but I didn't find as much as you found when I was just kind of looking around. But Mark Twain lived there for only a year. I wonder if he was having issues while he was there. That's why it was only a year.
Maybe.
Could be.
Maybe.
That's crazy. Huh.
But 22 people died in that house. So I'm sure there's.
So they talk about a rotten smell, and now you touched on it that they found food in places and stuff like that.
Yeah, she would find food like on the table that wasn't theirs. That was.
But I mean, it wasn't rotten food. It wasn't like stuff that was shoved underneath the counter or something. And they were like,
no,
oh,
it was actual rotting food on her table that did not belong to them.
Oh, so it was rotting food.
Yes.
But you also said something about a medium that claimed that there was a body underneath the floorboards.
She said that she could feel a presence underneath the floorboards.
So did anybody ever look? Do you know if anybody ever looked under the floorboards to see if there was a skeleton underneath there?
No, not that I
Because when you first said that, that's the first thing I thought of was like, did somebody throw a body under the floorboards? And
It is New York. I mean, if you ever watch some of those shows, I mean, they do hide bodies in places.
Some different places, but
and it was renovated, so you just don't know. There could be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just that was my thought initially was like there were, the residual smell. I mean, obviously a body that had probably been there for 30 or 40 years or whatever, it ain't going to smell like that. But I mean, if that would come up and it's like, oh, why did that smell come from? It's because there was a body or still is a body underneath those floorboards.
Right.
Somebody needs to check into that. Not me.
No.
Not it.
I don't want to. I don't want to play it.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. I liked it. It was good. It was good.
It.
I'm not going to buy you the book, though.
No, that's okay. Thanks. It's all
I think
good. I haven't read my other book yet.
I know, right?
And I still have another one to go.
You guys need to get that together.
I need to read it too.
I think that people would love to hear you guys' take on that first book of The Conjuring House.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the name of the family again.
The Perrin?
Yeah, Perrin family.
Perrin family. There you
gosh.
go. So yeah, let's get that on the docket. J-Dub need to get that book read.
I know.
And I forgot all about what I read in the first one.
God, now she's gonna have to reread it. I personally am gonna buy the audiobook and listen to it that way.
Yeah.
I bet there's no smut in that though, is there?
No smut.
All right.
No
yeah.
smut whatsoever.
Yeah. All right. Well, very good. Very good. All right. Well, it's kind of a shorter episode for you guys today.
I've done short ones. No big deal.
Really?
Don't look at me like that.
She's like, I'm ready to go home and do my chores.
You got chores to do.
I do.
All right. Well, we'll get you guys out of here. Very good. House of Death, New York City.
New York City.
New York
New
City.
York City.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to United States Paranormal. We'll be back again next week with a J-Dub episode and guest Kane hanging out with us.
Yay.
Hopefully that story doesn't suck.
Oh. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, guys. We're out. We'll see you again next week. Keep it spooky, and we'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The United States of Paranormal. Check us out at theunitedstatesofparanormal.com or at any other of our social media pages. At Twitter at TOSOPPOD, at Instagram at The United States of Paranormal, or Facebook at The United States of Paranormal, or YouTube at The United States of Paranormal 1795.
Please check out our other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network. The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, Indiana Chiefs Fans, The Golden 80s, Murd Nerds, and A Quart of Books and Booze.
And if you have a location you would like us to check into or a creepy story that you would love to tell us, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen.